Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle Margie 2 from CZT Barbara Duel Johnson. Now, it's been some time. We looked at Margie, and we did it for one of our Tangle Time sessions, and oddly, because this was all that we had presented, and I know we had some people that kind of just did this naturally. I will put a link in the description section for Margie, which is kind of how do I want to say that? Margie 2 is kind of like we're doing both sides. I want to say it's kind of a half Margie 2, but Margie 2 would be a double half never mind. You have to look at it to see. It is rather neat. Okay, let's get to this one. All right, and sure, let's do it on the diagonal because that seems to be what I've been wanting to do lately. Okay, this one, so we'll just start with a cross. You want to leave a little bit of room for this shape, and it's kind of, this is so funny. It looks like a teardrop shape, kind of like a flux shape, right? But and also like the top sort of poke leaf. So what's so funny is it doesn't work for me to do it all in one stroke like I might normally. So here's what I do is I'm starting right here at the end, and I'm going to make these bigger than bigger than what I did in my version of the step out. So I have to do it a half at a time. That's kind of like how I would do poke leaf. And so we're going to do this on every end. And it's kind of an S type shape. I just think it's so interesting and kind of funny. I think, yes, I'm leaving myself enough room. I think it's interesting and funny just in myself how my hand needs to do some things one way and some things a different way, even though it's kind of the same thing. It's just really funny. All right, so once you have it like this, then, and these are all going to, somewhere between a C and an S shape. I will show you. So coming from, a little ways down from the top, a C shape. You could think of it maybe as a half of a heart. Although it doesn't have to come up that far. But since I've done it, apparently that's how I'm going to have to do it. We'll just see how consistently I do that. And do take a look at the For More Inspiration link in the description section so you can see this right from Barbara's hand. And also, the different variations and different takes that she has on her tangle. All right. And this is one of those things. It's like, well, once you start doing something one way, just keep doing it that way. And, and then it's not, if like, in my head, it's like, well, that's not how I wanted it to turn out. But since that's the way it is, okay, we'll go with it. And it's just between you and your piece of paper and your pen. All right, so from here, and we're going to continue to do this kind of down towards the center. It honestly is not going to matter how many times you do it. Again, that's why I reference Barbara's step out in her samples. And because I did this so close, I'm going to come right here, and we're just doing the same thing on either side. Now, here's where, so the regular Margie is doing all of this, and I'm putting my finger on the line, but it's that's why I was joking. It's a half, but that's the way the original Margie was. This is just doing it on both sides, if that helps you to understand where I was going. Sometimes I go down these paths in my head, and sometimes I bring you along with me, and sometimes I don't. Oh, it just makes for a puzzle that you get to figure out later. All right, so there's once around. I might have to do this a couple times around. Let's see. Maybe. Yeah, I think so. And another thing that you could do, like I'm kind of, well, I'm almost going out, towards the sides here. Looking at Barb, she has somewhere, these kind of go in. So like if you started them later, you could keep these sections, kind of more narrow. And it just depends on what you want to do with it, which is what makes it so much extra fun. Okay, now how many? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, this will be the last. And let's see if I can. Well, I didn't have to do it that thin, because like this, you can hollow bow behind, and that's what I'm going to do right there, like that. Okay. Because as you can see, what happens in the center is we kind of create this interesting star shape. And that would be something, is to try to aim for those to be lining up there on those spokes that we started with. Okay. And then, now I ended up putting this, I didn't put this part in red. What did I do? Let's see. Oh yeah, she combined this with the last step. And for whatever reason, I wanted you to see this openness, because maybe, just maybe, you want to do something else with it. And actually looking, yeah, she has some interesting things. But we'll go ahead and fill it in. I actually, all of a sudden I'm picturing, oh, look at, you could do orbs. Oh, watch, let's do that. And if I don't like it, we can still fill it in, because we kind of partially fill it in. Ooh, actually, you know what? I might just keep it this way. I kind of like it. It's the fun thing that I have been experiencing with Zentangle, because yes, I'm a creative person, but all this drawing stuff is, well, at this point, I mean, it's relatively new. I've not had any training in it except for my Zentangle experience. So some of the tools, pens, pencils, all of that, techniques and things are, I still feel new to it, because it's not like it's second nature. Like I grew up doing art or anything like that, or being um, around it enough. Even though my mom has, but well, if if you know her, I mean, she will tell you she doesn't. She has a degree in art education, and she does wonderful art. But she doesn't like to draw, and doesn't like to paint. But she has some beautiful paintings, and and she draws beautifully. But you can still not like it. So I see. I like how that happened. That's neat. All right, so let's also add. Let's aura these here, because that's fun. And then decide if I want to fill it all the way in. Forgot where I was going with that line of conversation. Oh yeah, we need to fill it in, because we need to have a little bit more contrast. But you know what? I'm going to leave a little. Ooh, I wonder if I can do that shine too. I think I have enough room. Oh yeah, sort of. You can always come back and fill it in. I don't remember what I was getting to with what I was talking about, the art stuff. Except that, I get so excited about some things, because, like I said, it is, a lot of the stuff is, I'm still learning about different techniques and things And it's so much fun. All right. Wow. Okay. Wow, there's a little teeny bit of a sliver there. I don't know if you can. I try to be very careful and just pull out, shave. I call it shaving because that's what it feels like. Like I'm shaving away, chipping away at that white, with the black pen there, just to get the sliver just right, or the crescent, whatever you want to call it. There we go. That looks neat. Okay, now let's do some shading. This is also why I always get super excited about shading, because it's always a just amazing what ends up happening. And I like how Barb did this, so I'm gonna I did this in my version of the step outs. So just on the outside, another thought that I had, and if you did it big enough, you could put it maybe underneath, because these are kind of, I mean, like this is tucked under this is tucked under this, etc. But you don't have to do it that way. That's usually what my brain goes to. I call it my own rules for, when I'm looking at something. Okay, well, how do I want to do this? But see, that just kind of looks neat. And if I can be a little more careful, or find a thinner tortillon, that will be helpful. Let's try it. Well, since I've started with this, we'll see if we can make it consistent. And bringing it down just a little bit on that line, so that way, well, and we do have here a little bit of the original tile color there, which kind of, it gives it a puffy look. That's my technical word for it. All right, these seem to be. There we go. There we go. And of course, you can play, looking at Barb's. She has, she's put, other, this similar shape, in the bottoms of these. There's just so many things that you could do. I also love the idea of, as I was saying with this, is, trying something and knowing that, well, if I don't like it, I can always just fill it all the way in. You know what that's going to look like, and it's going to look really neat to have a filled in section. But sometimes if things just pop in your head, just do them. As Mom says, it's just a piece of paper. I argue with her on that point. But I understand what she means. Yeah, I'm liking. And I'm tempted to put something down the middle too, but I'm not sure yet. We want to get all of this done. Okay, last one. And as I finish this, if you are enjoying this video, would love it if you click like sometime before you end it. And if you liked it enough to see more, and you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, would love to have you also click there to subscribe to the channel. You might need to have a finger stretch break with all of this tortillioning. I like making up words. Well, it's what we're doing. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let's do something a little darker. Just right down the middle. We'll go on both sides. Oh, look at that's making it go like down in the center, because that's what the graphite does, is it makes it recess. Yes, that looks neat. And sometimes just by having it be a darker shade, then you don't have to worry about the graphite remorse, because this is just a little bit more dramatic than the ends. I want it to be a little bit more so I'm just adding graphite right down that center, and I'm not really spreading it out. I'm just going kind of back and forth, so it's making the gradient instead of just that kind of harsh line. And just, like I said, just the back and forth, not, well, this, I'm pulling this out a little bit because I want it to be a little even. But there we go. Really, really neat. Really cool. And of course, I mean, you can add, I love in Barb's samples, she has some of what we call fancy fescue in there. Oh, the other one, she's got the line in an orb in the centers of these, but it's just so pretty. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Again, if you liked it, please click on like. And if you've not subscribed yet, would love to have you be a subscriber. In that description section, I mentioned links to the step outs. And below that, if you'd like to connect with me, my link tree is underneath there. So you have links to everything. Facebook page where you can follow me for classes. Also, if you'd like to join our Tangle Addicts community group on Facebook, there's a link for that. You just have to answer the 4 questions, and that gets you in. I have other places listed where you can just follow me for classes if you like that. And what else do I want to highlight? Oh, it's just self-explanatory. So everything is there, resources, etc. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.